Well, good evening. It is almost 6 p.m. today, August 23rd, 2025. um, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's in their prayers, doing their prayers and trying to find their ascension, trying to find their enlightenment. That would be good. Um, I did a lot of research on a lot of bloodlines of the beasts. I didn't know they had so many videos of that, even on Facebook. And it's fascinating to find that this concept of heaven and hell and the devil and God is so embedded in all of human history. It's just another confirmation that there's something more outside of this dimensional plane. So, um, I kind of wanted to say a couple things. Sorry, I need to get like a nice little thing to hold this stupid laptop up. But I wanted to say a couple things. This week, even though I'm keeping to myself, I still am being like surveillanced. I'm trying to find the cameras that are surveillancing me. I can't seem to find them, but I always hear audios of people talking. And it's always a girl. Supposedly there's like this little sex cult, and it's like 4 or 5 or 6 girls or something. Like, this is what you dumb girls do. Like, instead of getting an education and building your finances and building your reputation in a positive manner, you just go around and open your legs, but you don't have any kids. That's so unproductive. Anyhow, I also found that somebody named Mackenzie Bryant made an iCloud that ended up in my Facebook. My Facebook is connected to my personal email, and I made the mistake of connecting it to my phone, which has been spoofed and hacked for. I got it in January, and it's been spoofed and hacked since then. And then they created a WhatsApp account connected to the Facebook Messenger, so now I can't even change the password. So they have access to the Facebook that I'm on right now. I created another Facebook. I'm probably going to delete the one that they have access to so I can get them out. I've already reported them to FBI, to the Phoenix Police Department, and gave their information because they were so stupid that they had things being sent to my personal email because of the fact that they were trying to do all this other extra stuff on their iCloud, thinking that that would protect them from being noticed. So that was interesting. And then I was doing a search for like a loan or something today, and usually, when you have something saved, it populates your name, your phone number, your address. Somebody else's information populated in it, and it was like a dummy kind of thing. Like, I don't know, it could have been even from like an example for the website, but it just didn't make sense. Usually they don't have it where it's like, oh, you're confirmed. Because when I came back to the page, it had like 3 things filled out the email, but it said test@test.com and then the number 555. So it was a dummy account thing. But the name was Maglio something else. Let's see. I can get that info because I still have it on here. But the point is people are obviously doing weird stuff on here. It was Maglio Morandini and Mackenzie Bryant. I don't know any of these people. I just think it's funny that they find it so necessary to hack my information, hack my Facebook. My Facebook isn't the only social media I have. I have Instagram and I have Twitter, and it's deep_dive_corp. So Deep Dive Corp. And you can find me on there. You can find the same videos and everything that I've posted on Facebook. Maybe not as extensively as on Facebook, but. And then I also have a YouTube. So it's a digital deep dive corporation. It's It's all the same picture of an African American woman in green background with green nanotechnology or some kind of digital technology attached to her body. So I wanted to point those out. And also, I made a video earlier this week about how somebody, while I was taking a bath and meditating, came in and actually tried to create a fire. I already, because I'm an electrician, I already changed out the plug. But, since it's all burnt up, I don't really want to put it back on. Anyway, through the grapevine, I found out that my ex, Antonio Shaw, I think his middle name was Dominic, Antonio Dominic Shaw, I remember his mom was bragging to my mom, because his mom works at the post office, a while back when my mom was still alive, obviously, 15 years ago, 16. Oh, well, my son has a new house and da-da-da. Yeah, he got his job because I wrote his resume for him. I would even, after my full-time going to school and part-time, well, three-fourths time going to work, I would part-time go to his classes, because he had one automotive class and it was 12 units. And I would go and sit in his class and I would literally hold him by the hand. And I remember I got a C on his exam. I even took the exams with him. And I got a C on his exam and he got an A or something. And he wanted to gloat in my face. And I was like, that's why this is your major. I haven't even been in the classes for this. I'm just here to support you. And I remember his family wouldn't even help him. And his mother, Jackie, I remember she told him, I'm not going to get you a car. I'm not going to help you. Because I wrote his resume for him. His other friend, Justin, came in the picture and was kind of trying to help. But I like Justin, but his family was racist. That's a whole nother story. Oh my God. And his sister, 16 years old, harassing me, coming to my job because I guess she had a crush on Antonio or something. I don't know. Or she just had a hatred for me. And harassing me at my job, lying to my coworkers. I actually went to her house, to her father, and said, you need to let your daughter know that she needs to check herself because she doesn't need to keep coming to my job. She did it for 4 months. And I told him, I said, I'm showing a lot of restraint by not punching her in the face. And then I found out that she was only 16. I was 20 at the time. Yeah, I was 20 at the time. She was only 16. She was pregnant and trying to place judgment on me. I was like, sweetie, get your stuff together. So Justin, his friend, drove him to the interview that he got. And he got the job. And his mother, Jackie, was like, I'm not going to help you. You're going to be a failure like my other two sons. She sacrificed her sons. And I understand it was hard for her because she was physically abused by Antonio's father. And so she made a choice. She had three sons from this man. Do I save myself or save my kids? And she attempted to save all of them, but unfortunately, she really was just saving herself. And the other two sons, one ended up in the military. The other one ended up just getting high and getting into bad stuff. And Antonio was trying. And my heart went out to him. And when we were first getting to know each other, I remember he plucked the flowers off of the the bushes at Victor Valley College in Victorville, California, where I grew up for 15 years. And he gave them to me for my birthday, the first birthday that we were together. I think we were together 2.5 years, so he was through 3 of my birthdays, and that was the nicest thing he's ever done for me out of the entire time. He even scraped up $1 so he could go to the dollar store and get a nice little card for me. That was really cute. He's also a Leo. August 16th, I believe your birthday is. And after he got the job, at the time I was barely making minimum wage. At the time was, I think, 7 something. I was making $10.45 because I was already, somewhere around there. I was making $9, $10.45 before I quit my job. I was there for 10 years already. 4 years. I was there for 4 years at Stater Brothers, and I was making 10.45 an hour. But when he got hired on a military base, and his mother wouldn't drive him. And he was getting paid $20 an hour. So my father, he's not all evil. I begged him. Me and my father were not on good terms at this time. And I begged him. I said, please, Daddy, can you drive him to work? Like, I love this man. Can you drive him to work? And so my father would pick Antonio up out of his way. And my father already drove an hour, 40 minutes to work. Because he was working at Fort Irwin. That was an hour, 40-minute drive from Apple Valley, where we lived on Pawhuska Road. So he had to go backward to pick up Antonio. Because for some reason, Antonio couldn't catch the bus. But again, he had no money. And Antonio lived he lived with his mom by this time. I told him he should move back in with his mom, and that was when everything went bad, because he was like, I don't want to move back into that house. That house is evil. But he moved back in, and that's when our relationship went downhill. And but anyway, so my dad had to drive a good 15-20 minutes to pick him up the opposite direction and then go back to the freeway. So he drove an hour out of his way for 2 months, every day, 5 days a week, and got up early just to drive Antonio as if he was his own son to work. And then my father went to work. And then Antonio had to wait, obviously, for my dad to get off work. But, when my dad got off work, he drove an hour out of his way to pick him up and drop him off. Well, I think he brought him home, and then my mom, my mom and I would go and drop him off. And so finally, after 2 months of this, his very selfish mother, Jackie, decided, oh, I'm going to get you a car, but you got to pay me back. And it was like $4,000 she spent, and it was a Kia Rio. And so Antonio lived a really rough life. His stepdad's son molested him and his closest older brother for, I think, a few years. And the way he got away with it was because Antonio and his brother, I think they're only like 3 years apart, just like me and my brother, around the same age. And they were very young. I think Antonio was like 7. And this piece of crap told him, don't say anything or I'll kill your brother. And he did the same thing to his brother. He said, don't say anything or I'll kill your brother. And I remember Antonio told me he had the courage, after a year of being abused, to tell his mother, Jackie. And this still baffles me to this day, because even though I'm not a mother yet, I would never do what she did. She sat there and looked at him and said, you're lying. This isn't happening to you. You're lying to me. You didn't even look into it for your son. Why would your son even say this? I get it when kids might say lies, but kids aren't born to lie unless, they're afraid of a repercussion. He was afraid for his life. If my child came to me like that, I'd be like, okay, time to put up some cameras, time to sleep, stay up a little later, see what's going on, monitor what my stepson is doing, et cetera, et cetera. So this went on for years, and she didn't listen to him. I think it went on for 2 more years. I think him and his brother were abused for 3 years. And then I think Antonio brought it up again, and she was like, no. And then finally his brother said, no, Mommy, this is happening. And then she finally decided to double down and do something. Like, you needed confirmation that both of your kids were molested and raped before you actually look into it? What is wrong with you? And then she was such a churchgoer. Oh, praise the Lord. Da, da, da. It seems like the devil has gotten into our churches by connecting to people that go to church. He can't walk in there by himself, but he can definitely use a host. But Antonio lied on the stand about me. Antonio, again, I forgive you. You weren't given an opportunity in this life. You were molested when you were younger. You weren't heard when you sought help. And you just became a victim. And your mind shattered. Your insecurities heightened. You didn't even believe how much I loved you. I remember I was making $6.45 when we were first together. We were together for those 2.5 years, and then we still were like on and off talking when I went to college. And I was making $6.45, and I remember when your first birthday came up and your second birthday came up, I spent thousands of dollars on you. I saved up all my money. I remember all the Raiders stuff I got you because you love the Raiders. The Raiders license plate when you finally got your car. The Raiders wheel cover. Raiders blanket. Raiders towels for you to wash yourself. You got me a German chocolate cake when you knew that I was allergic to chocolate. You spent $10 on me when I spent thousands on you, and you were making twice as much as me. And you were a mechanic, and you loved to do maintenance on your own car. You loved to do the oil changes, but you knew I didn't have any time because I was working full-time. I was going to school full-time. You never offered. Even when I was at work, I was literally like 5 minutes around the corner, and you couldn't even come and get my car and do it. But emotionally, I tried to lift you up and take care of you. And you still were buddy and messing around with that white girl in your class. I don't even know her name. You cheated on me too. You lied to me too. After I did so much for you. And then for how much money did they pay you to go into court and lie about me? Another person's name was Tanya. I know a Tanya Singh. Tanya, maybe I should put out your dirty laundry about your pregnancy. Or maybe I should put out your dirty laundry to your parents about how I made sure you didn't have the pregnancy that you didn't want. That your parents were just badgering you, that you were a slut, you were this, you were that. You were also a victim of what's going on with me. And you chose to maintain being a victim. They're going to do the humiliation ritual on you before they kill you and siphon all your energy. And you're choosing to stay submissive to your family. I pray for your soul. I remember how scared you were when, God, I forgot his name, when he got you pregnant. But you were on the stand talking against me too. Which doesn't surprise me because you were a weak individual. You had no loyalties. You were too scared to mess around with Patrick Leary because you knew that you were scared of me for some reason. I would have never hurt you. I was more mad at him because you were so much younger than me and he was trying to go after you, even though he was claiming he was my friend. And he didn't want to hurt my feelings, but he definitely wanted to mess with me and you and anybody else. Who knows? Even maybe Patrick Leary ended up doing this. They were finding so many people as witnesses in my past, like people that I didn't really talk to because I was kind of a loner anyway. I guess you couldn't get Michelle Gassaway. Well, she was a witch, so I don't know. Maybe you did get her. But you got somebody named Christina. The only Christy I know growing up with, she was very scrawny, small, short little girl with glasses. And we didn't even know each other that well. I mean, she did more of the talking in our friendship than anything. She didn't really listen to me at all. So I don't know what kind of interesting testimony she had to say about me. But She was an attention junkie, so definitely, I guess you didn't even have to pay her much just to go over there. Well, to each his own. And there's one other person. My friend for 23 years, I believe it was Melissa Calcioni. Something about child abuse. Melissa, you have been through so much, and I felt for you. I cared about you very much. But before you even offered to let me come into your home, you were already a participant of this. I know that now. Because I'm sure I was raped in your home and you kept, no, there's nothing wrong. You don't need to add more whatever to the door. You don't need to blockade the door. I still blockaded the door. She didn't like it. Well, I would hear if somebody came in here. No, you wouldn't. You think you would. You are so traumatized. What was your baby daddy's name? Michael? So traumatized by him. You could never let go of the trauma. You never healed. You haven't healed still. And now you want to focus your energy on hating me because you were an obsessive, compulsive, over-controlling mother that talked about, if he does this, I don't know what I'm going to do to myself. That's not healthy, Melissa. And the fact that you want to focus your energy on me when you are not doing healthy things for yourself or your son shows how unhealthy and sick you've become. You need to find God. You need to find out what your creator's doing. When you die, you're going to be reincarnated right back into this cycle. And you're not going to know what the hell happened. You really need to heal yourself. And I was patient and I was understanding. And then when you started focusing your energies toward me, that's when I left your house. Because I was trying to get out of your house. I was trying to respect that. I got you back $30,000 for your stupidity in flooding your own house. You don't even know how to connect a tube and make sure that the pressure isn't so high that it would bust. And then you say, oh, it was only like a couple minutes. No, sweetie. If you know how pressure and fluid dynamics works, while you were in the shower, it popped. And while you were in the shower for probably a good 15 minutes, that's probably how long it was going. For it to expand all the way into your hallway that way, all the way into the other rooms that way, it was going for a while. You are delusional. Your perception of time and space and incidences are exaggerated. You don't want to face your flaws. And I got you $30,000 back. And and I was offering to do all of the work on your house for free. I begged to do your roof when the wind came, and then I saw that, and then the roof part, the part of the roof came off, and I was like, oh man. And when I went back up there, yeah, if I wouldn't have done that roof, a week later when it rained, when we saw the rain, it wouldn't. I wonder if you're still living in that house. That $30,000 you would have had to put right back into that roof. So you're welcome. But thank you for not even spending $200 to get a ladder for me to get the tar up there, to get that whole thing of, what do you call them? The shingles. To get the paper up there, to get the tools up there. I wasn't even worth $200 to buy a ladder so I could safely get up there. But you're welcome for the $30,000 for fixing your roof, for patching it up anyway, for fixing your connection for your water filter. It was $150, and I only made you spend like $5 to get the tubes and the hosing so that I could fix the water filtration system in your fridge. You're welcome for saving you money. I was willing to do all that for you because I cared about you and I loved you like a sister. But since my sisters abandoned me, I guess it was just forsaken. But that's so sad. And then You want to blame your ex? Oh, my son, I know he needs to be with me. If he doesn't come with me, this is it. Why are you trying to force your son to do things? If he says he doesn't want to go, or he says he has another plan, I already told you before. He's a young man. He's not a little girl that wants to spend time with mommy. He's a young man. Let him explore his life. And unfortunately, whether his father's abusive or not, his father is the father figure. He wants to be a man. You already know that he sees the dysfunction. If you don't have faith in the way that you're raising your son, then you're just as lost as your son. You really need to see a psychiatrist, and you really need to heal your wounds. Not everybody is evil in this world, but guess what? Congratulations, you have become one of the evil people. Since you wanted to be upset at me for calling you out for you literally saying suicidal things about your son, like about what you would do to yourself. You need help. I tried to help you. And then you turned on me. I tried to bargain with you, and you refused. So your retribution is coming as well. And supposedly you're also doing magic spells toward me. Oh, how the high have fallen. So I wanted to mention those 4 people that through the grapevine have been stating things about me in court to pretty much help amplify the false accusations of me being mentally unstable, a drug addict. These are all false accusations. I literally always tell police if they think I'm on a drug, they can test me right then and there. Because I know I'm not. Like right now, somebody's hexed in here and moving around because I can hear it. I just want to be left alone. I've done nothing to any of you people. I literally have done nothing to any of you people, except for you all have came into my path to learn a lesson, to learn about somebody that was willing to give you all their help and assistance, and all you guys did was lie about me, use me, and abuse me, and continue lying about me, and now targeting me for evil intentions and negative energies. Like, you all need Jesus. You need your Creator. You need to find yourselves. On that note, that's really all I wanted to say. This became a very long video. But I wanted to kind of explain all the people that testified against me, all the things they've said, and my life experiences with them. It's really pretty sad. Another one, going back to family, Kearney. My poor Kearney, my only niece. You're my only niece. God, you're so beautiful. Those beautiful gray eyes, beautiful straight hair. You are so beautiful. And you're doing chaos magic on me. You're doing death spells on me. You're hating me. I remember when I was trying so hard to learn German, and I would write you. And a couple times I didn't understand a thing you were telling me, and I would show my mom. She's like, she's writing in slang. And my mom hated that. She wanted you to be proper. I know she taught Alexandra, to be that way. Alexei, how could you let your daughter go down this path? But she was also lost, so she was abusive to you. I know, Kearney. You should have never been in foster care. And what about your son? My grandnephew that I never got to meet. God, he looks like a little miniature Justin, my brother. He really does. Well, when he was born, gosh. How old is he supposed to be now if he's still alive? I don't even know what you guys are doing to these poor kids anymore. But what, I have 6 nephews, a grandnephew, and a niece. Kearney, I adored you. I was trying to get myself situated so I could bring you to America. You wanted to be here so bad. And I wanted to bring you here. I wanted to take care of you. But because I was already forsaken from my family, you guys were destroying my employment since I was employed. I should have kept my union job. You guys couldn't have taken me out on that. But I know the manager, Zoe, she was all about trying to destroy me. And when I transferred, she was so happy to get rid of me. Racist woman. But yeah, okay. This video's gotten a little too long. It's 30 minutes of me just jibber jabbering. I just wanted to talk about that. Some of the people that are through the grapevine I know are participants of my struggles. I'm just disappointed in all of you, especially Melissa. You know, I really was hoping that you could heal and you could blossom again. And you became this selfish, money-hungry, obsessive-compulsive, sad person. I will pray for you because you didn't deserve the life that you were given. But you did get a house. You did get to live in comfort. But man, always complaining. My little Cancer friend, always complaining. One more thing before I get off here. Really, Melissa? Oh my God, I can't even drink when I'm at work. You literally work from home. You could have any drink next to you. And while you're typing, you could say, "One moment, please," and put the person on mute because she was at a call center, IEHP she works for. And all you had to do was put your customer on hold, take a little sip of something and drink, and go back to work. But no, you thought because you waking up 5 minutes before you have to clock in on your computer in your little office that I fixed up, that you didn't want to help me with, that you didn't want to get me all of the tools to actually make it all nice and perfect for you, but then you want to say I only did half jobs there. You never wanted to put in the money to do all the actual repairs for your own house. And I got you $30,000 back. You didn't even want to get $200. You didn't even want to pay $200 for a goddamn ladder so I could actually do your roof, which what was estimated at $19,000 that you had to repair. You were saving so much money on me helping you, and all you did was bitch. Wah, 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 wah. And then, I can't even drink at work. This is hard labor. I'm sorry. I was the one in freaking in warehouses doing 12 to 16 hour shifts, running, walking, pulling, pushing, grabbing, lifting 50, 75, 80-pound things. You never hear me complain, but you want to whine because you can't find the time. No, you don't know how to manage your time. You were always the scatterbrain. I don't know how to do this. What do I do this? What do I do? What? You never knew what to do. You were always the victim. And then you wonder why a man doesn't want to come into your life. And then when they do and they want to take care of you, now you feel like they're controlling you. You had no control yourself. You had no discipline. I'm going to eat healthy and I like this and I like that. But you never wanted to do your workouts. And then when you were on the right track, you just, I didn't feel like it today. And then it just became the same complacency. You wonder why you never got that weight off? You wonder why you still look pregnant even though you haven't been pregnant in 13 years? What, now 15 years? Because what? Caden's 15 now, right? 16? You wonder why he doesn't speak too much to you? You are overwhelming. You are crowding him. He's a young man. You really need to see somebody. And it's really sad that your mom didn't tell you this. But now it makes sense because your brother can't even live on his own. So, and then your sister doesn't work. She just pops out kids and she's married to somebody else. So you were the one that took the initiative. You were the one that was supposed to break the chain in your family, Melissa. And you didn't. So now you reap what you sow. I was honest when I reported you. The problem is you're not honest with yourself. Anyway, so now I wasted another like 5 minutes complaining, blah, blah, blah. I won't go back into these energies. It's just fascinating the little bits and pieces that I keep finding out. How many of my closest friends or exes are participating. One of my exes, Daryl, he's a Taurus. I believe him and one of the other girls were, what was it? You had that white girl that you wanted to have a threesome, like you wanted to bring her into our relationship. You had her, and then the black girl that you know, messed around with, and she was like, she just wanted you, and you didn't want her because she was too aggressive. You all danced under a freaking moon and tree to hex me. Like, you literally have brainwashed these poor women into thinking like you're some kind of grandiose anything, and you're short, you're stupid. You wanted me to build your bus to make it into an RV. I came out of nowhere. Like, that was your project. I was just there to help you. But you were trying to get your buddy to do everything for you. You were lazy. And then, oh yeah, Daryl, remember how my mom was in the hospital for the first little while, a couple weeks? She was in the hospital for like a good 2 months almost before she died. And she died at St. Mary's Hospital, which I think she was being killed there too. But I remember you used to be sweet, and you drove me all the way there when I didn't have a car, and you would wait there the whole day. I was there with my mom, holding her hand and talking to her, and then all of a sudden you got bored. And even though you knew I was at the hospital because you drove me to the hospital, you started accusing me of cheating on you. And then you had the nerve to try to make me choose between spending time with my sick mother in the hospital and you. And I'm so glad that you were smart enough to understand that when I told you don't go there, you didn't. Because then when I finally was able to get my car up and running, you knew exactly where I was. I was at the hospital every day with my mother. Every day. Putting lotion on her, especially when she was sedated, talking to her, reminding her she's still loved, she's still thought of. We were waiting for her. She got COVID in the hospital, but on her death certificate it says other complications. She had ovarian cancer that she let get too far, and it was riddling her body before she ended up in the hospital. We saw a doctor, a specialist, that said that she would survive. She had very high chances of surviving chemotherapy. And I was very hopeful. And instead of, when she fell, because obviously the cancer was eating away at her calcium intake, and I was trying to get her to eat better and put more supplements in her body. It was just too late. And then when I left, she fell, and instead of my dad helping her, he just called the fire department, whatever, and instead of letting her die at home, which is what she wanted, they took her to the hospital and she got COVID. And then they told me that I couldn't see her. And I was like, I'm going to see my mom, because it was especially around my birthday. They tried to, oh God, she almost died when they tried to take her to a rehabilitation center. I told her, don't move her. She almost died. Then they brought her right back. She was such a fighter. She didn't want to leave me. I remember when I was taking care of her, she was just like, you. It was always you. You were always the one. And I didn't know what she meant until now. I hope God rests her soul, because she deserves that. She went through so much in this life. So much abuse from my father. So much mental torment from my brother. And abuse and torment from my older sister. She tried to protect Julie so much. I tried to protect Julie too. Yeah, our family definitely was cursed. God, now I'm talking a little too much more again. But yeah, Daryl, you're trash. Our cycle ended a long time ago. When you lied and claimed I stole your car, I wasn't going to leave and have all of my groceries, $100, sitting in your car. No, I'm going to go and bring them back to my apartment. When you claimed I did domestic violence, you're just mad because I kicked your butt. And you're former military, and I kicked your butt. You're mad because a small woman that you thought didn't have any capacity to take you on took you on and succeeded. It's not my fault you're not a good fighter. You think your strength is the only way that you can win. Well, you didn't win that fight. And what did I do after I beat you? I tried to tend to your wounds. I still always had mercy. And because I didn't come back to you, you decided to claim I did domestic violence. You are so petty. You're a sore loser. Always trying to save face. Leave me alone. Now that I know a couple of my enemies, I'll definitely be putting protection orders against you guys too. Specifically you, Daryl. But yes, you too, Melissa. You are beyond bonkers now. You have lost your soul, you poor thing. You really, really need to find yourself. And if this is who you think you should be, you'll be right back here once you die, not learning the same lesson. I feel really sad for you all. I will pray for you. So that's a little bit that I know about more of that court case. I'm still waiting to hear from somebody about certain people that have been arrested. I know I'm not going to hear too much for a little bit, and I know my rape kit isn't going to come in until next year, July, because I was raped in July. Hopefully Michael Willis Hurd is learning to evolve. I don't think he genuinely means to be a bad person. I think he was coerced into believing the wrong things. Because even in the rapes, well, the one rape that I heard that he did of me, it wasn't what the gang rape was. He genuinely didn't hurt me. It was for something else. But he didn't intentionally try to hurt me. The gang rape, yeah, those guys. And they were all on drugs. Because I saw one of the boys when I was downstairs. He was watching me when I was waiting for the Rangers to come. And I stopped in front of him and I was like, he couldn't even look at me. I don't know which one you were. I don't know if you were the Glenn, Noah, Carter, or one of the other two boys. I don't know which one you are. Probably the one that says that you regret your actions on TikTok and you changed your picture. You couldn't even look me in the eye after you raped me. Because the way you raped me was beyond horrid. You gotta repent. You gotta try to save your soul, kiddo. God doesn't care if you're gay, if you're transsexual, pansexual, or anything. He cares if you accept His enlightenment. He cares if you've learned and if you want to ascend to the delta frequency brain pattern, I think. Because supposedly when we're in our delta frequency, in our sleep, that's why we are so susceptible to dreams of enlightenment, really, or dreams of premonitions and things like that. Speaking of that, I had an interesting dream the other night of someone. I think he knows, and I think he knows what he's doing. And I think he really needs to listen to his divine masculine, he shouldn't be dabbling in this magic anymore. The collective is not going to allow you to anymore. And I know you were put in some kind of shock after I woke up, because I could feel it. The bed was shaking right next to me where you were. Stop astro-planing out here. Stop trying to do all this stuff. You're deteriorating your spirit and you're just darkening it. Or hey, maybe it's not even the person I think. Maybe it's somebody else who's been doing this for too long. You guys just need to stop dabbling in this witchcraft magic crap, you know, like it's not, like I said, it's fun to look into this and you feel powerful. That's what the devil wants you to feel. Because if you didn't feel powerful, you wouldn't want to do it. I am still learning my powers and my influences. And it's interesting. And I just want everybody to feel where I am, you know, like I want everybody to be where I'm at right now. Like this enlightenment is just crazy. It just feels like unreal, so unreal. But it feels happy. It makes me laugh. It makes me just feel absolute happiness. I just want other people to feel that. So just educate yourself and find God. Like, it's really pretty that simple. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I just want to talk about some of the people that decided to go against me and some of my storylines with them. So if this resonates with you, by all means, you know, put a like, add me on Instagram, Deep Dive Corp, TikTok, actually not my TikTok, Twitter, Deep Dive Corp, on YouTube, Digital Deep Dive Corporation. Just look that up. That's me. Subscribe. I haven't been able to create my videos yet, so I'm a little annoyed, but they're coming. Like I said, I do want to talk about a lot of the directed energy weapons that we have the U.S. patents for. So, yeah. But in the meantime, by all means, enlighten yourselves or enlighten me. Let me know what some of you guys feel or think or know about these kinds of situations that I know I'm not the only one going through. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. It's 6:35 now, and, you know, I pray for everybody to just be safe and have a good evening and find yourselves and find your joy and happiness and try to own up to it, I guess. I don't know. Words never express what we want, but yeah. And I'll pray for the people that participated in trying to create my downfall and my death. Because even though it was a small part of what you guys were doing, that was the main picture. And you guys knew. You genuinely wanted me to die. That's how sick you all are. And I've done nothing to any of you. And Melissa, if you think I did something to you, you have a lot of inner work to do. A lot. Don't come to me. Don't try to look for forgiveness. I do forgive you, but I do not want to see you. I don't want to see anybody in my family. I don't. I want you all to leave me alone. Let the court play out how it needs to, and leave my life, and never contact me again. Except for Julie. And Alexandra and Justin. Only for your kids. Only for my nephews. Because they still haven't been tainted by how sick you guys are. So I still want relationships with them. That's it. But don't talk to me. Don't try to chit chat with me. We'll just talk when I'm ready to be able to visit you. And we'll work it out that way. But that's all.